How you doing today, folks? I got an unboxing for you today. Fairly excited about this, though not super. It's definitely a smaller knife, as you can see in the description or the thumbnail. But very excited overall, just to unbox something because I like knives. But as far as the content itself, So today's unboxing knife is going to be the wow, I forgot the name. The TRM Atom in brass and black blade. Now, a little bit about this box. This actually contains a knife from somebody in the community that had absolutely no reputation. And so what that means is that they sent, wow, first off, here's the package. Look at all that packing. Big box for a relatively smaller knife, but like really good packing. Oh God. And what is this anyways? Oh, so if you want to shoot some shit, cool, I'll use that. But anyways, so this is from a person, right, that has no footprint in our community. And as such, they sent this knife to me free of charge. Basically, in order to make sure I wasn't being scammed, I was like, hey, here's my name, here's my channel, here's this, that, and the other. You know, there's a lot of scammers in our community right now. Our economy is absolutely terrible. Everyone's in a bad spot. People that were good to go at one point in time aren't anymore. And it's pretty bad. So if somebody comes out of the woodwork, right, with a great deal, be like, hey, we can either use a proxy, which means sending it to a moderator or an admin in a group. They then verify its contents and then it goes back to somebody else. Or do what I did. You want to get started? Here's my vouchers. Here's my history. You know, you're going to send me this, and I'll send you the money afterwards. As long as it's good to go, you get paid. So here's the knife. Let's go about making sure it is good to go. Definitely appears that way. Nice little Medford box. There's a knife. Got some stickers. Patch, I think. Whatever the hell this is. Warranted forever in new or used original condition. Got the COA. And here is the knife itself, which is a Medford knife and tool slim midi. Now, I have a mixed relationship with Medford knife and tool, for sure. But I got a Medford full-size Marauder H in recently, and that has honestly become probably my favorite knife of all time somehow. So I was like, all right, I'm going to just try the rest of the Marauder line, see if I like them as much as I do the other one. Off top, this is a much smaller knife. Holy crap. I didn't think it'd be as big of a difference. Very slim, which is, you know, slim midi. But yeah, I have my Zan over here. So let's do a little size comparison real quick before we get too far into this. It is pretty close to the same size as the Zan. The Zan is a little bit thicker, a little bit wider, but overall about the same size. So using just the actual scales themselves, I have my entire pinky hanging off the edge and a little bit of this finger. If I choke up on the actual thing using the finger choil, there's a little bit sticking off of the edge, about half my pinky sticking off the edge, but not that bad. As far as the action goes, okay. I was not expecting that, but sweet. Really good action. Very, very smooth on the slow roll. Oh yeah, that is absolute butter. Nope. Hey, it worked the time. So you can flick it out with your thumb, though it feels a little bit janky. But the reverse flick, wow. On camera every time. Reverse flick is fantastic. Now, this is also in Medford's tumbled finish, which is this almost like mirror reflected Tonto. It has flame scales on the presentation side and just regular tie ones on the non-presentation side. And it all has this almost like reflective coating. As you can see the actual phone in the background. The blade is much more so than the scales themselves, but that absolutely still has a reflection to it. So really interesting. This knife is probably not going to be a keeper for me personally. It is much smaller than I thought it would be, but the action, really good. There are no hot spots for this knife. It's too small, so it doesn't feel great on my size of hand, but if you have size large, medium, small, I have size 2XL hands, folks. So if you have normal sized hands, you'll probably love this. I really like the aesthetics of it all. I love the Marauder lineup just in general. So that's definitely a bonus. Okay. This is what happens when it's a non-edited video. So give me 1 second. We'll get that knife back. So, how's the durability? There are no scratches besides the regular stone wash, which has a little bit of, scuffing to it, just part of the nature of that. No damage, no issues, good to go. So if you want to drop it and it then bounces across the living room, you can do that. Damn it. But ergonomically, definitely very good knife. The clip, really smooth actually. I'm just sitting at home today, so I'm wearing basketball shorts. So in basketball shorts, feels really good. It's also a really light knife. Medford Knife and Tool is known for making big, heavy knives. So this is like really light. I'm gonna grab this. This is my Sebenza, but it has brass scales to it, so it's not a fair comparison. But it's definitely lighter than the Zan by quite a lot. This is about the same size, but like this feels a lot heavier. So that's cool if you like lighter knives. I kind of don't. But what I do like is that Tonto. Oh my god. The Marauder lineup from Medford Knife and Tool and Tonto to me is just so badass looking. Like that is absolutely amazing. But ow. My full size. Actually, I'm gonna go get that right now. 1 second, folks. I'm going to keep talking into the microphone. It might cut out. I'm not entirely sure. My house is kind of big. But grabbing my Medford Knife and Tool, Marauder H, my baby, I freaking love this knife. This is my full size baby. Also, as you can see, has that beautiful Tonto. It's definitely a thicker blade as well, because the slim midi is, as the name might imply, slim. So a much thicker blade, much thicker profile. And overall, the full size is a lot, and I mean a lot bigger, as you can see from that. So if you're interested in this, let me know. Open to trades, mostly for bigger knives or to sell. Because this right here, I love this knife. I almost don't want to love this knife, but I cannot help it. I love this knife. It is so buttery smooth, has amazing action. To be fair, all of the things this knife has, this knife also has, but it's just so much smaller and thinner. And I got big ass hands and I like heavy knives. So this is not for me. But as far as an EDC friendly Medford, This is fantastic. I can't lie about that. This is kind of an incredible knife. These are normally about 700 bucks. Would I pay that much for this? Hell no. Would I pay that much for this? Hell yes. So, you know, if you like smaller knives, you like the whole footprint of the Marauder. I mean, it's great. I can't lie about that. It is undeniably great. Has great action, fit and finish, fantastic ergonomics. Everything is super nicely chamfered. There's no real anything there. I will say there's kind of a hot spot right there, but it's not super bad. And when you're actually really holding it, because of where your hand falls right there, you don't really feel it. Yeah, Medford has this thing that they always do with the Marauder line, right? And it's the same thing with this one, to where they have the lock face exposed on top. Now, I would prefer if this was just a little bit higher for the actual scales. Like the lock face right there is exposed. So theoretically, you could drop this knife and it could land straight like this and then damage the lock face. It'd be hard to do, to be fair, and it's never happened to me yet, and I've owned quite a few Medfords for a number of years now. But it's definitely a thing. It's more noticeable on the Marauder H. So that's something I don't really like all that much, but you know, it is what it is. Oops. But that being said, if you like the full-size, bigger knives, Marauder H, fantastic. If you like the little baby knives, the Marauder Slim Midi Marauder, also fantastic. Different strokes for different folks. This is definitely not going to be a keeper for me. For me personally, cannot talk. For me personally, this is not going to be a keeper, but only because I have this, and I love this so much. But as always, folks, I love you all. Also, as far as a first impression score, again, not for me, but as far as an EDC knife, and there's nothing wrong with this, really. Again, this thing goes over a little bit too much. It's kind of aesthetics. I don't like it that much. This has like a minor hot spot if you like just feel it like this, but as soon as you actually wrap it around, there's nothing there. So it's not even really a factor. But, you know, as far as EDC and a smaller knife goes, this is kind of perfect. This is definitely my preference. This is also a 10 to me, but it's something that it's a 10 in my humble opinion, like in a bigger knife. But if you want a smaller EDC knife, again, this just has no problems, which is crazy. Now, as always, folks, I love you all. Please take care. And I love my Marauder. Bye.